Hey guys, welcome to Smack Talk Wrestling Reviews. I am your host, Boise, and this is NXT UK Review. On this week's 2 episodes, we have a big announcement from Joe Coffey, Mark Coffey, and Wolfgang. What could that be? We have a NXT UK superstar returning from injury, and Rhea Ripley gives an opportunity to an NXT superstar. This and much more, let's hit the music. So we kicked off the show with an opening segment from the Coffey brothers and Wolfgang, and they pretty much announced what the group's new name is. It's Gallus, which I think means kings. They pretty much are stating this is their United Kingdom, this is their kingdom, and no one, including British Strong Style, will have any opportunities. They will take away everything from those who believe they have the right. And I thought this was a really great promo. Joe just comes across as that arrogant leader of this group of men, and it's just showing more and more. They said that no one's going to stop them, no matter what. And when they stood in the ring between British Strong Style, they could tell they were fearful of this gang. And maybe I really want to see this happen. I really want to see British Strong Style versus Gallus. I think that could be awesome, but we'll have to wait and see. Travis Banks interrupted him, and this was a big pop because Travis has been away for a few months since he got injured. He got injured at an indie show, and they had to write him off the show for a while. And it discovered it was Mark who took him out, apparently, and that's why he's been away for so long. He came out. They said, "Look, it's 3-on-1. Bring it on, big man." And Travis actually held his own for some time until Mustache Mountain came out to help him. It looks like we're going to see an alliance between Travis Banks and Mustache Mountain. This is really interesting because if you're a wrestling fan in the UK, Travis Banks is awesome at being a heel and he's awesome at being a face. But it's weird right now because on a lot of the shows he is a heel, but in NXT UK he's a baby face. So it's kind of weird for me to see him like that. So it's great because Mustache Mountain are awesome, Travis Banks is awesome. So this alliance right now, especially with Pete Dunne at this time was away filming for NXT, Takeover. So this is cool. This is for me really cool. But yeah, really strong segment. It gives the group a name. I'm gonna butcher that name every time. I do apologize, guys. But yeah, I found this to be an entertaining start to NXT UK. This for the first episode, so I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Next up, we had an inter-brand match where we saw NXT versus NXT UK, where we saw Fabian Aichner, who's not been on NXT that often. I've only seen him a few times, so it's probably a good idea having him on NXT UK. It'll give him a lot more opportunities, and he was taking on probably one of the biggest names on the NXT UK circuit, Mark Andrews. And this was a really good match. I had a quick interview with Fabian before he went out, saying, "Look, I came here for opportunities to take on some of the best wrestlers in the world," and that's where they are. In the NXT UK market, there are some of the best wrestlers. The match started. Before the match even truly really got started, Fabian and Mark Andrews shake hands, and they got those fans really like, "Oh yeah, Fabian can be a good guy. He's a big, strong guy, but we could have another babyface on the roster, which might work because there's a lot of heels right now on NXT UK." And this really, for me, was a great match. Mark Andrews' high-flying skills are absolutely up. I can't keep saying this every week because I think some of you guys who are watching this review are just going to say, "You just said that last week. He's a great high flyer, great technical skills. What more do I need to say?" He is all that and more. Mark Andrews is just brilliant in the ring. His selling's fantastic. He's high-flying, and Aichner, I've got to give him credit. His in-ring skills were impressive, and you just saw it, the frustration of being near pinned a few times, and then Like, his moves weren't putting Andrews away. And that's what turned him. He turned heel at the end of this match. He kicked Andrews in the face next to the metal stairs. Got back in the ring, told the referee to count him out. Andrews, obviously being that big babyface, got back into the ring, but it was too late. Aichner, 1, 2, 3, powerbomb, spinning powerbomb, got the victory. And this was awesome. Aichner turned from a really nice, a typical babyface to a vindictive kind of heel in one match. And I thought this was, this shows character depth for Aichner. So I'm going to give this match a 7 out of 10. It's a great match, worth checking out, guys, I would say. But yeah, good start to the show so far. Next up, we had a quick little promo video of Isla Dawn, and then she went straight into a match where she saw she was taking on Nina Samuels, and it was Isla Dawn. This was a very, very much a typical starting match for me. Again, it's if you want to know, Scott, it's 5 out of 10. It was simple, it was basic. Samuels had a ruthless beginning at the start, and Dawn pretty much used her momentum. She was trained by Alice Black, and they said watch out for her kicks because that's her that's going to be the turning point. She kicked her in the head, and that was the turning point. Dawn got the victory, 1, 2, 3. And it kind of seems like Dawn is now maybe the #1 contender. I don't know how, but she is. They kind of video package, won a match. I mean, on the next episode after this one, she had a back and forth between Rhea Ripley, and it kind of said watch this, and it was kind of like indicating that Dawn is going to be #1 contender. But yeah, like I said, a 5 out of 10. Very basic type of match, but it's building up a superstar to take on the new NXT UK Women's Champion. No complaints there. Next up, we had a very fast match. Very fast. It was Eddie Dennis versus Tucker. Tucker, who I still think is great talent, but has not yet been used properly. I've seen him on the independent scenes over here in the UK. He has a great talent, but it just feels like every time he's on NXT UK, I think his best match so far is Jordan Devlin. That's been his best match so far, and this really was probably his worst match. Eddie won in quick style, really kind of overpowered Tucker, and it just felt like there was a lot of missed opportunities on here, especially for Tucker. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10 because obviously they're building Eddie as being one of the big heels, probably mid-card heels right now. But yeah, it's just a bit of a shame really, because I can see Tucker being one of the best high flyers in the company. And this moved us on to the main event for this episode, and it was Jordan Devlin versus Flash Morgan Webster. And for the last couple of weeks I've said how great Jordan Devlin has been. His selling's been fantastic, his grappling has been brilliant. Just take everything I've said for the last couple of reviews and just put it into this match. It was a good match. It was really good. I was entertained. Was it Jordan's best match? No, that was against Pete Dunne. That was definitely against Pete Dunne. This was a good match. Flash Morgan Webster is a great opponent to have. He's selling, his in-ring abilities is great. And, a few times you just feel like, who could win? Who's going to win? Who's going to lose? And that was the big point on this match. Jordan Devlin needed the victory after losing last week, and he got that. He did get the victory, but there were so many close pinfalls between the two, and that's the thing. They really wanted this to feel like it could go either way, and that's what they did. Both men really put that out on the line. They really sold the story of that whoever wins this could have an opportunity next against Pete Dunne, and that's what we got. So I'm going to give this match a 7 out of 10. I thought it was entertaining from start to finish. I think the selling from both guys were fantastic. I'm a big fan of Flash Morgan Webster, so I'm hoping he gets opportunities later down the line as well. That moves us on to the second episode of this week, where the first match we got was Joseph Connor versus Dan Moloney. Moloney's been on a few times now. He hasn't won a match yet, and Joseph Connor has again, building a reputation of being vicious and destructive, and that's what he came across in this match. And Moloney had a bit of momentum at the start, and Connors just really kind of ragged that out for a while, took the bumps, and then he kind of overcame Moloney in very quick succession. The match itself was a very basic heel face kind of perspective. Moloney came off really well, I've got to say. He's I like the little attitude he had, you know, very positive attitude from the start, very confident, which you haven't got to see. Hopefully we get to see him in a few more matches where he can actually win some. But yeah, it makes sense. Joseph Connor needs victories, and Moloney is that type of character you can use right now, who has no momentum, nothing going for him, and use him in this type of match. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10 because Joseph Connor's selling was brilliant. I think Moloney's selling was brilliant, and I think both men were just really had some good chemistry between each other. You can tell they've worked together before in the past. I think they have worked between each other before in the past. So yeah, 6 out of 10. Okay start to the show. Next match we got was Dave Mastiff, and he was taking on Mike Hitchman, who's the Wild Boar. This was a surprise match for me. I thought this was going to be Mastiff's going to destroy it, and even the fans thought Mastiff was going to just squash Hitchman. But no, Hitchman actually had a lot of the match where he was in control, and that's what you want to see. You don't want to just see the big guys overpower everyone, and that's what I was kind of worried we would get. But no, we actually got a very decent match. Both men really selling fantastic. Massive selling was fantastic, guys. I keep saying this, you know, selling, but there is a lot of times where you watch matches where the selling isn't great. You can tell they've missed, and yet the superstar sells it like, oh, most dramatic, and it doesn't work. Massive selling in this was brilliant because Hitchman was coming across as a little guy who's going all at it, and that's what we got in this match. Yes, Massive did get the victory, but it was a hard-fought victory. It's not one of those matches where it is a squash match. But yeah, I'm gonna give this another 6 out of 10 because yeah, it was a great, you know, little man versus big man match where the big man did win, but it took everything for the big man to win. I think this, it's to be honest, it's better than the first match of the night, so I've got to give it that 6 out of 10. I'm keeping with that score. Next match we got was Ligero versus Tyson T-Bone. My boy Ligero, Yorkshire lad from Leeds, my area. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I was biased throughout this whole match. Like, I just want Ligero to win. I knew T-Bone is a big guy. They're selling him as one of the big heels. Well, one of the bigger, stronger heels in the company. And Ligero won. Well, great surprise. That was, for me, brilliant. Tyson was in control. His cockiness got lost in the match. At near the end of the match, he was telling Ligero, I'm going to knock you out, I'm going to knock you out. He's about to lock him out. Ligero dodges it. Tyson tries to get Ligero. He throws himself into the ring post. He is KO'd himself nearly in this. Ligero, slice of bread, frog splash. My God, it was brilliant. I am a huge fan of Ligero, not just because he's from Leeds. It does help that he is from Leeds, but I actually enjoy him. I think he's a great character. I've seen him in other promotions where he can play a heel as well, and he's really good at playing a heel. But I really enjoy him being a babyface because he can really play that role really well as well. And getting a victory over such a big opponent like Tyson T-Bone just really elevates him up as one of the top mid-carders in this company. I could easily see him challenging, if he gets a good tag team partner, really challenging for tag team titles. I really hope that does happen. I hope he does hold gold at some point. And Tyson T-Bone's selling was fantastic for a big guy like himself. His selling was on point throughout the match. His cockiness and aggressiveness really was on point as well. So again, I'm giving it a 6 out of 10. I had to mark it down because I think my biasness nearly gave it a 9 when I was like, no, I've got to knock some points down on this. So I give it a 6 out of 10 because I'm trying to just control my biasness for Ligero. Next up, we had Rhea Ripley versus Candy Floss, a new NXT UK superstar, it seems. This all started because of, like I said earlier on in the review, that Dawn was kind of interviewed like she's the new #1 contender. Ripley saw her, she said she wanted competition, not this, and she's going to show everyone what she can do, especially Dawn. Watch this match. And Candy Floss surprised Ripley at first. It was a quick match. Again, it's one of those ones where the heel's very arrogant. She thinks she's going to win easily. Candy Floss surprises her. What does Rhea Ripley do? She goes up a gear. Her aggressiveness gets very much involved into the match, and she destroys Candy Floss much quicker, and you know, she wins much more easier, like she expected to win. After the match, Ripley did beat the crap out of Candy Floss for giving her a much more difficult match than she was expecting. But yeah, I'm going to give this a 5 out of 10. This is definitely a message towards the women's division that Ripley is dangerous and she's got an extra gear if she needs to go that way, especially in her aggressiveness. But yeah, are we going to see Candy Floss on NXT UK again? I hope so. I hope she's 18. There's a lot of young talent, especially in the NXT UK women's division, and I think she could learn a lot from experienced wrestlers like Rhea Ripley and Toni Storm and really help herself in that way. So yeah, I hope we do see Candy Floss in the future. And this moves us on to the main event of the second episode of this week, where it was Wolfgang versus Travis Banks. Now this is all obviously the build up from last episode, and I think this was a shame this match was not longer than it was. I think it was about 7 minutes long, and that's a shame for a main event. Travis Banks' selling was brilliant. Wolfgang was in control for a majority. Travis started getting more and more momentum. The Coffey brothers tried to get involved. Mustache Mountain prevented them, and that caused an altercation. Travis Banks took out both Mark and Joe, which was great, and then Travis Banks, with the help of Trent Seven, pinned Wolfgang to get the victory. That was a victory from the good guys, the baby faces, and the baby faces using a bit of heel tactics right there. You don't often get to see that, but yeah, I'm going to give this a 6 out of 10. I think it was, because it was so short, we didn't get to see Travis Banks at his best in this one, which is a bit of a shame. I wish we had a few more minutes, maybe another 10 minutes, so we could really see Travis Banks really showing what he can do. Wolfgang, we already know, is a great seller and in-ring talent. So yeah, 6 out of 10 feels like a fair score to me. There you go, guys. That was NXT UK episodes 13 and 14 review. We did also get some backstage things. Sid is now the assistant to the GM of NXT UK, which is great, because I was hoping he'd get a big role on the show, and I'm glad they have. I was hoping he'd get a win before he goes into like admin work, but yeah, I'm happy with that, unless he's injured, and then yeah, keep him in the background. I think this week's episodes, there's a lot of build up to rivalries. I'm glad we're starting to see more and more storylines coming involved. I feel like the Dawn and Ripley rivalry is getting a bit rushed, in my opinion, but we did get some big news that we're going to have some news on the NXT Tag Team Championship next week, so that should be exciting to see. I'm going to grade each episode separately. So the first episode of this week, I'm going to give a 7 out of 10. I think it was the better of the two, especially with the opening segment. The first match of the night was really impressive, and Flash Morgan Webster and Devlin were just brilliant. I think this episode 14 of this week gets a 6 out of 10. I think it was just a steady build up on rivalries and storylines kind of matches in those. So yeah, very happy with that. I can't wait to see what happens next week on NXT UK. But what was your favourite part of this week's episodes? Leave it in the comments below, guys. If you do like our videos, please like, subscribe, and press the bell to keep notified. If you want to follow us on Twitter, you can do. It's at SmackTalk YouTube. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's at Boise88. And I'll see you guys next time on SmackTalk Wrestling Reviews.